Alright, Hood Handyman here for Grind Time Media. Today's agenda, I'm replacing an alternator on 99 Jeep Cherokee Sport for 4.0 liter V6. Here's the motor, inline 6, straight 6, whatever you want to call it. Alternator. Been having some problems with this alternator. The idle adjustment, you know, when you're running the air conditioner, sometimes the idle would drop, and a lot of times when I get in the vehicle and first start it up, I would turn the air on and I noticed that the idle would kind of drop a lot and hesitate, and then after I start driving it for a while, it would build back up. It was hardly noticeable at first, but then over time it got worse. So I started especially when you start and stop it over and over. You go to one store, then go to the next store, you got the air running. You know, I would start to wait a little while until I'll turn the air on, give me a chance to drive about a block, and then turn it on, and then it would, you know, do a little bit better. And I've replaced this idle air control thing right over here. That had something to do with my idle as well, but I solved that issue, so it's balancing itself out. But then this alternator started acting up on me, and today when I went and got in the vehicle, started it up, I noticed the battery voltage was about 9, so I cleaned the terminals. These terminals always get oxidation. I even put these little cloth things underneath, and I also always have to clean the terminals, because after a while of cleaning them, they kind of get smaller and smaller and smaller, because you're actually scraping the posts, the metal on the post, making them smaller, especially if you've had them a long time. So you know, that's the one thing to note. So once it dropped to 9, it went back up to 13, and I was like, alright, cool. And then I started it up again, and it went back to 9. So when I went back to 9, I took the positive battery post off, and it cut off. So that has let me know that it's the alternator. Could be the battery as well. You know, we're gonna look into all that. You know, but I'm pretty sure. You know, I'm gonna take it to them and let them test it before they sell me a new one. So we're gonna get to it either way. But I'm confident enough now to know to go ahead and because the only thing that's running off of it is the battery. The alternator's not charging it. And if I check the battery right now after I disconnect it, I bet you I will have 9 volts. So that will let me know also that I was only running off the battery to begin with. Alright, so now that you got the whole story, let's get to work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bolt and loosen it right here. That's going to loosen the belt. It's not my first rodeo. I've had this truck a long time. I replaced the water pump, so I remember that I had to loosen the tensioner on the pulley. And then when I loosen the tensioner on the pulley, I'm just going to put it over this fan right here, so I don't have to undo the whole thing and figure out the configuration again, which is probably up on the it's probably over there. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 bolts out and loosen the alternator, get it out of here. But first I got to take the battery. Alright, so now I'm going to try to prove that the voltage that I was getting on my vehicle, the 9 volts, is the same amount of voltage I'm getting from my battery. So this will show me that the power that I was running off of I was running off my battery alone. When I disconnected the battery cable and it turned off my vehicle, my positive terminal, when I disconnected it turned off my vehicle. And I know it's a little loud. I got the air conditioner running. It's the middle of July, so work will bear with me. And I'm gonna try to hold this. And I got the voltage meter set on my field piece to voltage DC. And I'm gonna carry one over here. I'll put one over here. Okay, so it's telling me that my voltage is, my battery's, you know, my battery's good. I knew my battery was good, but the alternator's not really recharging my battery. So it was only charging at 9 volts on my dashboard for my voltage. So it's showing my battery's good, so I might not even need to hook it up to this But no matter how you look at this, it's still worth it to have your alternator tested at this point. And they can do that. And you also can test the resistance on your alternator as well. But you know, I can do it myself, or I can have them do it up at the store, advanced, and I don't have to call the figure out what the manufacturer's resistance is and all that other crap. You know, something's got to be done about it. So there you go. Let's get on to the next step. Alright, I'm going to give you another tip when you're replacing the alternator. So now I got the alternator out. But let me give you another tip. I would have the old alternator out when you buy your new one, because what that'll allow you to do is be able to get your money for your core when you first get your new alternator, instead of, you know, getting your, you still can't take it out and put it in at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna have to take this one out anyway, so why not take it out and bring it with you to the store when you get your new one? You're gonna have to test this one if you want to troubleshoot something else. Maybe it's not the alternator, let's just say that. So why buy a new alternator up front and then take this off and go back to the store again to get your money back, when you can hand them this and take that right then and there? So I just wanted to give you, I've seen so many people do that, you know, I don't understand why. Just go ahead and, you know, take it off and have one available. You know, if this is done and you're not going to drive it no more. Alright, so I got my 1932 and I'm just loosening the pulley, and every now and then I'll grab the pulley and give it a little pull, see if it's going to, you know, get loose. I used to have a hard time finding this tool, but it sure does work. This is my go-to for this truck, this 1932, because before I turned the camera on, I just had a socket set, not a socket set, but a wrench set, and there wasn't none of them do this. And this has always been a little loose anyway, to be honest with you. Just got to find out which way to turn it. Excuse me for the watching the bolt, watching the camera at the same time. Haven't quite got there where I need the tripod just yet, so I'm just doing this for you. Show you this part. But once you get the pulley off and get the two bolts off, it ain't that, from what I remember, because this alternator's been up here so long, so from what I remember, it's not that bad. Still don't feel like getting loose or nothing yet, but I know it would squeak. It would squeak before, when I would let me look behind there and see what's going on. Yeah, one time it was squeak, so it's not squeaking when I turn the air compressor would kick in, and then I have to turn it on low so it wouldn't squeak. So yeah, we're gonna fix that too. Alright y'all, so here's where I'm at now with the alternator. I was able to get to it by taking this battery tray out. Now let me tell you something about this battery tray. These 3 bolts right here, 2 of them came off easy, no problem. But one of them I had to put a little of this silicone blaster up there. And it actually worked really, really good. As soon as I put it up there, I was able to get that bolt off. But had I not had this handy, it was not going to come off. So I sprayed this on, it was able to work its way in there, and now I can proceed forward. And I found out that all the bolts I need, I found out that they were 15 millimeter. So I'm taking the bolt out that was under here. Well, first I got a washer or something under here. There's the plug that goes on the back of this harness. For some reason I can't get the can't get something off right here. There we go. I got it off. So that's up there. That was on the back of this on the back of this part here for the, I guess that's the part that well, one of these, I guess, voltage is coming into this alternator and voltage is coming out alternating current. So that's probably your voltage, you know, charging the, keeping your system charged up, your battery, and that's probably you know, the resistance or the negative going back. So something to that effect. Alright, so now we just got to get the bolt off at the bottom, and the bolt that I just took off, that's a 13. Everybody tells you about the 15, so you're gonna learn something new from my video as well. Is the bolt right here. If you've already done this, I'm not gonna try to get this camera all the way in there. You already know. And there I am. I'm turning this with my hand, and it's gonna go all the way back. But I don't want to turn it all the way out without unhooking the bolt at the bottom. Well, I might drop it from the bottom and just pull it on out. And you notice I didn't mess with this belt a whole lot, because I don't want to I just want to loosen up the belt just enough to get it off of there. I don't want to have to go through all that messing with this belt stuff. Alright, so that's what we got so far. Alright, so I'm under the vehicle. There's the bolt right there. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm sorry y'all, I shot this video on the fly. Didn't intend to do a camera tripod and all that for this. But there's the bolt. This tool that I got, this wrench, I don't know what they call these wrenches, man, but it's golden. This wrench right here is golden because it has this little curve in it that allows me to get right in here over the lip of this piece right here. And like, I wouldn't know what to do without this tool, because for this Cherokee, it's a 1932 piece, and it's got, I don't know what it's got on it, but just get one that looks like that and say 1932 on it, you'll be good. Alright, so I'll take this off and watch them refrigerant lines when you do it, them refrigerant lines, because you don't want to ever put a hole in them. It's the middle of July right now. I'm not trying to play any games. Alright, so let me go ahead and get this off, and I'm going to try to lift it out from the top when I get done, or hold on to it, or something like that to get it out.